Hello traders, hello forex trading enthusiasts, hello potential forex traders. I just want to show you this entry I just took on volatility 10 index. Right, I saw this setup on H4. I saw this setup on H4. So this is a buy setup. This is a buy setup. Right. So all of these candles put together are called high wave candlesticks, high wave signal candlesticks, right? So when I am taking this trade because of these candlesticks, these high wave signal candlesticks, right? When these candlesticks are printed around a psychological zone, when these candlesticks are printed around a psychological zone, for instance, this zone is a psychological zone because it coincides with the trend line. So I just drew a trend line, right? I already have some I just drew a trend line, and you can actually see that these whole candlesticks were formed around the trend line. They actually in accordance to the trend line, touching the trend line, right? So that makes that zone a psychological zone for me, right? So my psychological thought is I needed to wait for a confirmation candlestick to show that price is ready to bounce away from this zone, right? And this is where this candlestick showed up. This set of candlesticks showed up. So this set of candlesticks are called high wave signal candlesticks. Whenever they show up, it's a signal that price would move smartly at the opposite direction. So price, for instance, price was falling from this point, right? And it got to this level that is called a psychological zone, right? And suddenly it began to print high wave signal candlesticks. In other words, all of these candlesticks means rejection of price from this zone. It means that price is being rejected from this zone, from this critical zone. This could be telling us something, that the buyers are refusing the price from selling any further. Right, the price has been selling from the top to the bottom, but right around here it could mean that the buyers are refusing price from selling any further, right? So they are kind of rejecting price at this zone, so this being noticed, after noticing it, this set of candlesticks per se are part of the candlestick that gives money. For those of you that are following my mentorship program, these candlesticks I talk about candlesticks that gives money. For those of you following my mentorship program, right? So this we actually talked about the high wave signal candlesticks a lot. So you can see these candlesticks are actually a high wave signal candlesticks, right? They are confirmation by themselves, so you do not need a further confirmation candlestick to actually acknowledge these candlesticks. So once I've seen these candlesticks, right, on the H4 time frame, I've decided to take a buy. I took multiple buy positions, though, about 4 or 5 buy positions accordingly, right? So that being found, I'm just going to use my computer to enter the stop losses. I'm just gonna use my computer to enter the stop losses. So right, and the take profit levels. I'm just gonna do that from my computer accordingly. Right, so I'm just waiting for my computer to load, right? Because it's gonna be smart from my computer. All I need to do is just to shift the stop loss area, just to shift a line to the level where I want my stop loss to be, and shift another line to a level where I want my TP to be, and it's just gonna work like that. So now I've just taken a position on this. I've just taken a position here. So my job now will just be to wait. My job is done. All I need is just to wait, because I cannot do anything right now. I've just spotted my entry, right? So the best bet is to wait, just to wait and see what becomes of the price, what becomes of the market, right? So my let me see, I'm looking at 64.58. That's gonna be my stop loss. 64.58. All right, let me say 0.7. 64.58.7. And that's gonna be the level for my stop loss. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm doing that. 64.58.7. All right, so that zone, looking through that zone, that you can see, following the rule of thumb, I'm placing my stop loss at a zone where it can only be struck when my entire analysis is wrong. If eventually price isn't going to buy, right, and it begins to sell, then that is when my stop loss will be struck, right? But if just the retracement wouldn't hunt my stop loss, right? Just the retracement wouldn't hunt my stop loss, right? Unless my entire analysis is wrong, that is when my stop loss will be struck. So I'm following this rule. This rule is called the rule of thumb. It states that your stop loss should be placed at a price level where only when you're wrong, that is when your stop loss will be hunted, right? Only when your entire trading analysis is wrong, that is when your stop loss will be hunted. So I'm following this rule a lot. So you can see I'm allowing price to ride accordingly. Let me zoom out so you see I'm allowing price to ride accordingly. So this, you when trading, you just need to be patient. You just have to be patient. Trading is dry, like I always say. Nobody should sell you dreams that trading is easy. This isn't easy. Nobody should sell you that dream that trading is easy. Trading is dry. It's a dry process. You have to wait most of the time. You have to wait most of the time to accomplish your target, right? You wait to get your trading set up, for instance. You also wait to strike your target, right? After analyzing the market, most often you might need price to respect some zones before you make decision to trade. You might just need price to respect some zones before you make decision to trade. You wouldn't just jump into a running market. No, not every market setup is profitable. So you need to wait for your own profitable market setup, the one you recognize. That is the point. So most people, they feel, oh, forex traders, for you to be forex traders, it means the market will respect you all the time. No, the market doesn't respect you. You're the one that respects the market. You know your zones, you know your tradable zones, and you respect those zones. That is the only way you can actually hit your target when trading. That's the only way you can actually hit your target back to back when trading. But if you're not following the rules accordingly, your target might just not be met, right? Why? Because you're not following the rules, you're not following the guidelines. But if you actually follow the guidelines, like you can see, I've just set my TP, so I'm expecting price to get to that zone, right? I'm expecting price to get to my TP, right? So I'm using my computer to set my TP accordingly, right? So I'm using my phone to record, and I'm using my computer to set TP accordingly. So let's see what becomes of this. Let's see what becomes of this. I took multiple positions on this. I just took multiple positions on this. So I'm gonna hold, so you can see my lot size is 6.3 lot size, right? So that's what I'm using. Let's see what becomes of this trade. Now my job is done. I've waited for a profitable trading setup, right? I've waited for my profitable trading setup, and I've taken my entries. I've actually set my risk management parameters. I've set my stop loss. I've set my take profit. So my job now is to wait, just to wait, right? So just like I was saying, trading isn't an easy feat. Nobody should sell you dreams that it is easy trading. Nobody should sell you lifestyle, right? Well, the good thing is, once you know what you're doing, once you know your onion, you're actually gonna make profits. And when you make profits, there is no feeling as good as that, right? There is no feeling as good as that. In fact, all of the time spent in waiting, all of the dry process of analysis, it all pays off. It all pays off as long as you know the skills, you have the skill set of forex trading. So once you can actually follow the skill set, learn the craft very well, certainly you'll be able to pay the bills. The graph will pay the bills for you, right? So my job now is done. What I would have to do now is just to wait and to see the outcome. I'm just gonna wait to see the outcome of this trade, right? So you can see my entry zones, you can see my stop loss zones, you can see my TP zone. So now my job is to wait and see how this will ride, right? Fingers crossed. I'm just going to wait and see how this will ride. I'm not the one that's going to push the market because I'm not a market maker, right? I'm not the bank. I'm not the market maker. I'm not a broker per se. So I'm just going to wait and see what becomes of this. All I know is my profitable trading setups, and I know that okay, my profitable trading setups has to be at least 90% accurate, right? So once I've found it, I'll take a risk that I know I can bear, right? Enter the market and keep my fingers crossed and wait. So I'm going to pause this video and resume in a bit so we'll all see the outcome of this trade, right? However, I would urge you, if you're a first time view of my channel, I'll urge you to subscribe to my channel, right? You can also click on the bell button, the notification button, so you would always be notified each time I post my videos, right? Because I promise my videos are always going to show you how I take my trading setup, how I take entries, right? What I consider, and we'll all watch to see the outcomes together. That is what I do. I will not sell you dreams in this channel. I'm not going to show you Lamborghini, and I will not show you lifestyle. I'll show you how to trade and make your own profit. That is what I would always show you, how you could actually apply what I do, copy me by the shoulder, and make your own profit. So it will be good if you actually subscribe so you always get my video. It will also be good if you click on the notification button so you can always be notified each time I post new videos. It's also gonna be good to like every video you see, yeah, because it's very important for YouTube algorithm. It's gonna make my videos to be ranked amongst forex trading websites. It's gonna help to be ranked amongst its peer, and also it will help YouTube to also make it reach out to others that would want to see and learn forex trading accordingly, right? So everything I do is for free. In this channel, I do not tell you to buy ebooks. I do not tell you to pay for trading signals. All I just want to do is to share my ideas with you, what I consider when I trade, right? And how you watch me take these trades and you watch me take my stop losses and my take profits accordingly. Now let's see how this goes. I'm just going to pause and I will resume in a bit. Thank you. Alright, so this is the progress of the trade. You can see the progress of the trade. Alright, so what I did is I've just set two TP targets, right? I set two profit targets. This is TP1 and this is TP2, right? So we can all see the progress of the trade. So I'm still holding the trade. We can see how much progress the trade has made so far, right? We can see, like I said, whenever a high wave signal candlestick shows up, whenever we see this set of candlesticks, the price around a psychological area, the price is trying to tell us that it wants to make a good move at the opposite direction, right? In this case, the price was selling, and when it got around the support zones, we can see the trend line showing us a diagonal support, right? So when it got around that zone, instead of showing that rejection, showing those candlesticks, it was a sign that a move would happen at the opposite direction. A strong buy move would happen. So owing to that, I actually took several buy positions accordingly. With lot size 6.3, right? So we can actually see the progress this trade has made, right? So I'm still gonna hold. I'm just gonna hold this, and this is like 10:15 p.m. Nigerian time. So all my parameters have been set. My stop loss is set, my TP1 is set, my TP2 is set, so I can actually go to bed, right, and probably check up on this trade later on, right? So if looking at the date, you can see the date, right? This is a recent trade. This trade is today, right? Like we can see what the date is, right? This is the 15th day of May, right? So this trade is recent, the 14th day rather of May. So this trade is recent, right? This is the trade for today, the 14th day of May, so we can see the progress of this trade, right? So I actually talked on why I actually took these positions, right? So why the reason for taking this position is clear. So all I needed to do was wait for my setup, right? I knew what I was expecting to see. I knew what I wanted the market to show me before I take a position, and the market actually showed me that. So my job is now taking a position, and I'm letting the market ride. I'm just letting the market ride accordingly, right? So let's hold this trade and see what becomes of it, right? I'm holding this trade and I'm gonna see what becomes of it, right? All things being equal, I'll get my TP1 and also TP2 accordingly, right? So I'm pausing this trade now to resume in a bit, right? I'm gonna pause this trade to resume in a bit. Thank you. Hello, Forex traders. Hello, Forex trading enthusiasts. Right, this is a continuation of the trade. Right, I'm still holding the trade, like I said. I'm still holding the trade. Right, but the setup actually changed. The setup actually changed. Right. Okay, this is what happened. Um, I guess yesterday, after the first, I made the first recording. You can see I made the first recording, taking these points as point of entries, right? Considering these setups, right? These high wave signal setups, right? Actually, price pushed up, moved up, right? These high wave signal that right price was going to make a quick move at the opposite direction, which was what happened. Price made that move at the opposite direction, right? So right around that time, it was late at night, so I actually went to bed. Already my stop loss is already set. You can see where I set my stop loss underneath, right? From the entries, the very first entry, right? But by the time I got up today, I saw that price printed a strong bearish candle, right, with a rejection underneath, right? A strong bearish candle with a rejection underneath, right? The goal for this was to hunt my stop loss. The goal for this was to hunt stop loss, right? But because, like I said about stop loss, that you should place your stop loss at a price level where your stop loss will only be struck only when your analysis is wrong, right? So my analysis was that price was gonna buy, right? The whole concept of my analysis after taking an entry after this highway signal, after the highway signals, was that price was going to buy, right? So right, like I said, I wasn't going to push the market. My job was to dictate when price is going to buy. I want just to predict that or speculate that price was going to buy, which I did, and I took a buy and I positioned my stop losses accordingly. I position my stop losses accordingly. You can see the level for my stop loss, right? I guess so. Right. So this level where my stop loss is, like I said, following the rule of thumb, place your stop loss at a price level that it will only be struck. It will only be struck only when your entire analysis is wrong. So my entire analysis wasn't wrong anyways, right? So even if there was a stop loss hunt by this bold bearish candle, let me clear this. Even there was a stop loss hunt by this bold bearish candle, right? But my it wasn't able to touch my stop loss per se, right? You can see it wasn't able to touch my stop loss. Even the next candle also drew a wick down, trying to hunt stop losses, right? So when you're trading, you should consider all of this, because yes, the market will always try to hunt stop losses. That is why when you're setting your stop loss, you should always follow the rule of thumb. Give the chart enough space to breathe from your entry, so in case whenever there is a retracement, right? So just a mere retracement did not hit my stop loss, like you see. Mere retracements didn't hit my stop loss, like you can see. So owing to that, things started picking up after all of these retracements. Things started picking up, right? And looking at the H1 time frame, I saw a very interesting build up on the H1 time frame, right? I saw a price respecting these bottoms, rejecting these bottoms, right? You can see where my stop loss is. So I could call this a triple top, right? But better off called a double top, however, right? So this, it's telling me that okay, price has just made a build up underneath, right? And it's on its way heading northwards. It's on its way heading northwards because it has a stronger foundation now at the bottom. You can see it has a strong base now. You can see all of the consolidations around the base, right? It consolidated, it went up, came down, formed a second consolidation. That makes it a double bottom for me, right? So now, having this information, I took other entries. I took several other entries too, right? So on a higher stop loss, right? So also I feel looking at the H4 time frame just closed. The H4 candle just closed right around 5 p.m. Nigeria. Hello, forex traders. Hello, trading enthusiasts. All right, few hours later, you can see that TP1 is almost struck. Price is close to TP1. TP1 will be struck anytime soon, right? TP1 will soon be struck anytime soon, right? So you can see. So things are trying to get positive now with this trade, right? So it's beginning to get positive. So you can see that TP1 price is already around TP1. TP1 will be struck anytime pretty soon, right? So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. We'll see what's gonna become of this trade, right? So once TP1 is struck, the next target is gonna be TP2 accordingly, then TP3. Fingers crossed. Hoping that this pays out. The wait since yesterday will pay off hopefully, right? Because yeah, I've been able to hold this trade since yesterday, right? From the 4-hour time frame. I took this entry from the 4-hour time frame analysis, right? And right, and I've been able to hold even until this time. This is the next day around 6:13 p.m. Nigerian time. So I'm still gonna hold this till I actually achieve all of my targets, right? I'm gonna pause this video now to resume later. I'm just gonna pause this video now to resume later. Thank you. All right, like you can see, TP1 has been hit. Right, TP1 achieved. Right, TP1 was around this position. TP1 was around this position. It's been achieved now. The price heading to TP2. Price is now headed to TP2. Yeah. So hopefully that will also be achieved too. TP2 will be smashed too. Hopefully, then we'll head to TP3 accordingly. Alright. So fingers crossed. Let's see what becomes of this trade accordingly. Thank you. Patience is everything. Hello, forex traders. Hello, forex trading enthusiasts. Hello, potential forex traders. Right, so the same trade, I've been holding this trade. This is the third day I'm holding this trade. Like you can see, this is the third day, right? And price is just close to TP2 now, about to smash TP2, right? Price is just about around TP2, trying to smash TP2. Like you can see, this is TP2. This area is TP2. Like you can see, price is just around it, trying to smash it anytime soon. Right, this is the third day I'm holding this trade. Right, this like yesterday, you can see, price smashed TP1 yesterday. Right, price smashed TP1 around here yesterday. Right, so today is the third day I'm holding this trade. This is Sunday. This is Sunday, right around 9:30 a.m. Nigerian time, right? So you see price is just around TP2 now, and hopefully price would smash TP2 anytime soon, hopefully, right? So fingers crossed. So what actually happened is that price also made some build up. You can see price also did some more build up around this psychological area, around this psychological area. So you can see price did some more build up around this area, right? And like I said, this is my XL. You can see the zone where my XL is. Just like I always said, because my XL was there, I just had to allow the trade run. Whatever becomes the case, I know I'm safe. Price will only hit my XL only when my entire analysis is wrong. But my analysis wasn't wrong anyways. My analysis was right. My analysis was that I found out that price was gonna go north. Price was gonna buy. was going to go long, and I took a buy position accordingly, and I placed my XL at this point following the rule of thumb, right? So price is almost at my TP2. Like you can see, TP2 about to be smashed now, right? You can see TP2 about to be smashed now. Anytime soon, hopefully it smashes TP2 accordingly, right? So trading, um, this when trading, like I said, it is a dry process, right? You have to wait. You have to wait for, even after you've taken entry. First of all, you have to wait for your trading setup, right? You want to see your profitable trading setup, right, before you take an entry. And once you've taken an entry, placed your risk management parameters, which is stop losses and your TP and your take profits, you have to wait to see all of what you want, all of what you analyzed manifest. Right now, I've taken a trade for a buy, and you can see how many days this is the third day I'm holding this position now, right? And my TP1 was struck yesterday. Today you can see price around TP2, hoping it's going to be struck anytime soon. So all of this entails patience, right? It entails long time of waiting, right? And it entails being able to set and forget, know the market, having the right trading psychology accordingly, right? So hopefully TP2 will be smashed anytime soon. Once it smashes, like you can see, price is almost around TP2. Like you can see, let me remove all of these other arrows, right? Let me remove all of these other arrows and make the chart simple, right? Moving TP. Alright, so you can see, alright, I'm just leaving the arrow for TP2 and TP1, then TP2 and TP3, right? So this is my TP2 now, right? Alright, so hopefully price matches this. My TP3 was smashed yesterday, right? My TP, yeah. So I'm just gonna allow this fly out and see how it is. I'm going to pause this trade right now. I'm going to pause this recording right now, and I'll be back in a bit to further show you the progress of this trade accordingly. Thank you. All right, fellow forex traders and forex trading enthusiasts, these are the progress of the trade. This is the progress of the trade. Like you can see, TP2 was smashed, so TP2 was smashed accordingly as expected. So price is heading to the final TP. Price is heading to the final TP, right? TP2 was smashed already, like I said. So price is heading to the final TP. So this was the outcome. So I held this trade for like, this is the third day, like I told you. This is the third day for holding this trade, right? This is it. So I'm still gonna hold this trade till price gets to the final TP. Till price gets to the final TP. Right, so I'm sure this my explanation why I actually took this entry was quite explanatory. So I took this entry from H4 anyways. Right, this is how it looks on the H4 time frame. This is how it looks from the H4. From H4. This is how the chart looks, right? Right, so fingers crossed. I've already achieved so much by holding this trade in 3 days. Today is the third day. You can see how much I've achieved by just holding on this trade. So I'm expecting price getting to the last take profit. My setting price getting to the final take profit. So I'm still gonna hold anyways and see how this will play out. So the market actually tested my psychology so much. You can see what happened, what the price did in a very long period of time, in a span of 3 days, right? So when I took the trade, of course, when you find your setup, you may not know how long it's going to take for price to go to that direction. But the most important thing is you found a signal. The market has given you a notice that price might go to this direction, you have a tendency that price is going to go to this direction, to a particular direction accordingly, right? So that is what the skill set is all about, knowing the direction price is going to take, right? But how long it's going to take you to hit your target, you may not tell. Only if you wait, time will only tell you. Only time will tell you how long it's going to take you to hit your target accordingly, right? So I held this entry patiently. You can see I held this entries patiently, right? And I positioned my stop loss here. Accordingly, right? And I have my final TP already, right? So it's looking quite interesting, anyways. Even though it's gonna take some time for this to happen, but I'm just still going to hold. Whatever becomes the case, like you can see, I've already closed. A lot of trades has already closed in profit today, right? Some of the entries closed yesterday, and this one's closed today, and I guess we have the last straw that's going to close. I'm going to close once price gets to the final TP. So it's going to be an interesting ride. Let's just watch and see how this will be achieved accordingly. Right. I'm going to pause this recording here to resume in a bit. I hope we can all see how the how trading psychology works, how a trader should exercise his psychology. So even though in as much as you've known the direction that price will take, no matter what price was doing, I didn't get the swayed. I still held on to my I still held onto my decision, because I knew that okay, it's only when my stop loss is struck that is when probably the trend has changed. But if my stop loss isn't struck yet, then I'm still correct. So I didn't close this trade out of panic. I still held onto it. Why? Because I believed in the process. I believed in my own process. Right? I believe in my trading strategy. Right. So you can see how this setup looks. It's gonna be very, very interesting, and I'm gonna hold this to my final TP. Let's see how it works. All right. If it's the first time on my channel, I urge you to subscribe to my channel. You could do well by clicking in the notification button, so you will never miss any of my videos. You're always going to be the first to get notified whenever I upload videos. You should also do well by liking this video. I like this video because it's important for YouTube algorithm. It helps YouTube to consider this video as important and to share it across other potential traders, others that will also want to learn how to trade accordingly. Right, so I'm going to pause this, like I said, to resume in a bit. Thank you. All right, so this is the progress of the trade. You can see that price is almost at TP1. It's almost at TP rather. Price is almost at the final TP right now. So you can actually see where the TP is now. Final TP price is almost there. Fingers crossed. Price is gonna hit TP anytime from now. Price is gonna hit TP anytime from now. So it is what it is. I'm still gonna pause the recording and resume in a bit, just to show the progress of the trade when price have eventually struck TP. Right, I know it will eventually smash TP anytime soon. Alright, just hold on. I'm gonna resume this recording after a bit. Thank you. Alright, this is the outcome of the trade. TP has been smashed. Accordingly. Right, these are all the positions closed. TP has been smashed. Right, these are all the positions closed. Right, so this is patience. trading is patience. Trading is patience. You just need to know how to wait. You need to know how to wait. How, like I said, the process is a dry process. It comprises waiting. Yes, learning how to wait, learning to have patience. Right. This trade took me, this particular setup took me 3 days to execute. Like you see, I said this is a trade, so you can see the outcome so far. You can see the outcome so far of this, um of being able to wait. Right, you can see the outcome so far. So I'm sure you actually understood what this actually means. You actually understood how I actually took the setup. Like I said, when after the day I took the setup based on these highway signal candlesticks, and I placed my XL underneath. I placed an XL underneath, right at the bottom, right. So at the position where it's only going to be struck where my analysis is wrong, right? And actually that was what happened. You can see all of the build up that happened by the market. The market had some other build ups, right? But it wasn't able to touch, it didn't smash my XL. It did not hunt my XL, even if my XL was hunted several times, but it didn't smash it, right? Because I placed my XL at the right level. Now you can see appropriately price moved up accordingly, right? And all of my TP levels, TP1, TP2, and TP3 were all smashed accordingly, right? This is how trading is done. I'm sure you can actually understand what I did. You can actually replicate this. You can actually copy this, copy me by my shoulder, and actually trade this for yourself, right? This is how trading is done. Trading isn't gambling. Trading requires long a long process of waiting, learning how to wait, right? It took me 3 days to actually execute this, and you can actually see the outcome accordingly, right? Forex traders do not jump into trading. You do not jump in and out of trading. You need to know what you want and stand by what you want, right? And take opportunities when you see them, right? Trade what you see, do not trade what you think. Don't trade what your gut tells you. Do not follow gut feelings, right? Oh, this is it. I'm sure this has actually been an eye opener to someone, right? You can see that TP smash was accomplished accordingly, right? So, um, I urge you, if you're a first time viewer, to subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notification bell to always get notified each time I post a video, and also like every of my videos you watch, right? This is to enable you to also spread it out to other um, enthusiasts that might want to know how to trade accordingly. The goal of this channel is to teach you how to take seamless entries with minimal risk and maximum profits, right? That's the goal of this channel. I'm not asking you, I will never ask you to pay for VIP fees. I will never ask you to buy signals. I will never ask you to buy ebooks. It's just to show you how you can actually trade forex like me, right? Thank you very much, and I hope you had um, a, quite an exposure watching this video. Thank you.